Thank you and welcome to the show for today. The topic today is Hunger in America 2000. And we're fortunate to have with us to talk about Hunger in America 2000, Ms. JDay. Ms. Day is the president and CEO of an organization called Second Harvest Food Bank of Middle Tennessee, located in Nashville, Tennessee. And of course, Ms. Day, let us welcome you to the show today.
Thank you.
And to talk about what I consider to be a very, very important issue, and especially this season of the year, and that is hunger in America. And what we'd like to do today is to talk about hunger in America as well as in Nashville, Tennessee. But before we do that, Ms. Day, let's have you to give us some information about JDay and about your background, your education, and some of the things that were important that eventually led you to head this very, very important organization of the Second Harvest Food Bank of Middle Tennessee. And then we'll talk about hunger in America and some of the other things that you are doing in terms of trying to meet this great need.
Okay. I grew up in a social service family. My father was a United Way executive, and my mother was a public health nurse. And that gave me a very good basis and foundation for working with people, giving back to the community, becoming involved at an early age as a volunteer in many different activities, in high school tutoring children in low-income areas. My professional career started after graduation from college with a degree in social work and working with the YMCA as a program director, an aquatics director, and then moving into as an executive director of a hearing and speech center in Des Moines, Iowa. I moved here about 13 years ago and substitute taught for a while until I found this job, which has become the most perfect job I've ever had. It's one that I truly enjoy. It's one that I feel very committed to and called to, because I do feel very I'm very interested in the issue of hunger, the causes of hunger, and how we can perhaps prohibit it in the future, or at least make it not as great as it is today.
Let's talk about Second Harvest Food Bank, but at the same time, Ms. Day, let's talk about this issue of hunger in America, because I think that most people would think that this is the wealthiest, most resourceful country in the world, but yet we still talk about hunger in America. Now, what are we saying here?
Well, there are over 31 million Americans in this country who are at risk of going to bed hungry every single evening. And in this country, with such a robust economy, it's hard for people to believe that that kind of thing is happening. But what is happening is two of the causes are we don't have enough affordable housing, and we don't have enough livable wages for folks. People aren't making livable wages. You can't live off of $5 and $6 an hour. And also with the revolution of the welfare reform that's taken place, we are seeing more individuals move into the workforce, but again, they are not making a livable wage. And to pay your child care, to pay your rent, to have a car that's reliable to get to work on, and then to feed your families, it's quite difficult. And so people make decisions. Do I pay my rent this month, or do I feed my family? Do I buy the needed medicine I need, or do I feed my family? And people shouldn't have to make those kinds of decisions in this country today, but they are. And it's, you know, the face of hunger is changing in America. People used to think it was only homeless individuals that needed assistance, but that's not true. We see working families every single day that seek out our assistance, that due to unusual circumstances, perhaps their car is broken down and they've had to put a lot of money into getting it repaired, but they need some extra help that month. Perhaps it's a senior citizen who hasn't gotten their Social Security check and they have limited funds and may seek us out. Perhaps it's someone who is immobile at their home, whether they're a senior citizen or someone who's disabled, living on a limited income, and they need to seek out our help. So I think people need to understand it can happen to any one of us. And many of us are just 3 paychecks away from being homeless or less and needing assistance in this country. And that's very true here in Nashville. Even though we're experiencing the greatest growth in Nashville, potential that we have ever experienced. At the same time, we're experiencing the need for emergency food assistance to go up by 10%. Across the country, it was 18% this year. And when you have 1 out of 4 children in this country that goes to bed hungry every night, that's alarming, and we need to do something about it. And that's what Second Harvest is here for.
Now let's talk about Second Harvest.